In the summer of 1816, snow fell in places where farmers should have been harvesting crops. Lakes stayed cold, frost returned again and again, and across parts of Europe and North America, people began asking a frightening question: had summer simply disappeared? The answer began more than a year earlier, thousands of miles away. On the island of Sumbawa, in what is now Indonesia, stood Mount Tambora, a massive volcano that had been showing signs of activity for years. In April 15, Tambora erupted with extraordinary force. The climax came on April 10th. NASA describes it as the largest eruption in recorded history. Roughly 150 cubic kilometers of tephra were blasted out, and the summit collapsed into a vast caldera several kilometers across. The disaster near Tambora was immediate, but another effect was only beginning. Sulfur released high into the atmosphere helped create reflective aerosols that spread far beyond Indonesia. They reduced some of the sunlight reaching Earth's surface and cooled the climate. The effect did not end when the eruption stopped. By 1816, people thousands of miles from Indonesia were living under its distant shadow. Spring arrived strangely, then summer refused to behave like summer. In New England, frost damaged crops in May. In June, snow was reported in parts of New York and Maine. Cold returned in sudden waves, sometimes after days that had seemed almost normal. Farmers watched corn, vegetables, and grain struggle or die. For families who depended on a successful harvest, unusual weather was not merely uncomfortable, it threatened the food they would need for the coming winter. Across the Atlantic, much of Europe also faced cold and extremely wet conditions. Harvests suffered, grain and oat prices rose, and communities already exhausted by years of war faced another hardship. Rain flooded fields in some regions. Poor harvests meant less food in markets, while higher prices placed simple meals beyond the reach of many struggling families. But the people living through 1816 did not know that a volcano in Indonesia was connected to their strange skies. News traveled slowly, and the science of volcanic climate effects was not yet understood. Some searched for explanations in the sun. In New England, Reverend Jonathan Fisher even recorded sunspots while trying to understand the unusual season. The real cause was moving invisibly above them, carried through the atmosphere on a global scale. The strange summer also left a mark on literature. Near Lake Geneva in Switzerland, the weather was cold and rainy during the summer of 1816. Mary Godwin, later known as Mary Shelley, was staying near Lord Byron with Percy Bysshe Shelley and others. During that famous summer, the group challenged one another to create ghost stories. From those dark days came the idea that developed into Frankenstein, first published in 1818.